Hello there. Let's jump right in on the company description section of your plan. In your plan template, we're on page 6, and we just gonna kind of read through what we're talking about with the Penguin Printing Company. So what we say is the name of the company, when it was formed, who owns the company, how is it organized legally, what services the company provides. And so in the case of Penguin, they were a new company formed in 2013, owned by Perry, Tammy, and Ma Penguin. And the company was organized as a Tennessee member managed limited liability company. So you may be an LLC, a limited liability company, you may be a sole proprietorship, a C Corp, or you're going to organize as that. So this information is important for people reading your plan to know. Plus, it just helps you. It just is kind of a linear approach of who you are, who's the owner, how are you organized, what do you do? And so in the case of Penguin, the company provides digital printing services for business clients, for brokers to resell, and then directly to businesses, schools, churches, and others. So in Penguin's case, they are a B2B company. We didn't state that outright, but you could include that in your plan. And so if you sell directly to businesses, the majority of the time you would be a B2B, business to business. If you sell directly to consumers, so you're selling bath products to individuals or makeup or purses, whatever, if you're in that retail consumer trade category, then you would be a B2C, or business to consumer. If you sell mostly to government, you're a B2G, business to government. So this is important to think through. Now, who are your customers? What do they look like generally? And then also, who operates the company? So that next sentence, as owner and operator of the company, both Perry and Tammy have combined experience of over 25 years in the printing business, with excellent reputations of being customer oriented and quality focused. So this is something you want to recap. If you're the operator, if you're a sole proprietor or the CEO, you want to recap what your experience is, uh, your expertise, and just start getting informing the reader of who is managing this company and how they're qualified to do that. All right. Let me get my page to turn down here. So on page 7, we, in Penguin's case, they had leased a space. And so that's important for you to talk about. Where are you located? Are you operated out of a home office, or you lease space in a co-work space, or you have your own building, or you're in a strip center? Just kind of talk about where you're located, how big your space is. If you are under a lease, how long is your lease? What do you pay for that lease? In this case, the Penguins had monthly rent of $991 triple net. And what triple net means is they paid the landlord $991, plus they paid property insurance and taxes on the space. So it was ended up being about $1,500 a month for them to maintain that office space. And then in their lease, the first 2 months rent payments were waived. So they got in with zero down. Looks like we copied the lease and attached it to the plan as an exhibit. Then the next paragraph, we talk about the management of the company and how much money or what equity you put into the business. You could, obviously, if you're the only reader and you're just documenting your path, it's good to go ahead and put that information in. If you're going to share this with other people and you don't want to be so specific, you can just say, the business is self-funded by the owner initially, and we're seeking a line of credit to help support working capital if you need it, if that's a request that you want to make. In this case, Ma Penguin was a family friend, and she had also put some money into the business. I think I told you on a previous video that they ended up buying some used equipment at what they thought was a really good deal. And so the next section, we talk more specifically about Penguin's products and services, business forms, business cards, and then we talk about with the purchase of the equipment for digital printing, this allows them for maximum flexibility. So if you have any competitive advantage, like if you've just bought some things or you know, something that gives you an edge over your competitors, you might put that here. And then the next section, we talk about the printing industry. I don't know if you're familiar with NAICS. It's North American Industrial Classification System. So that's a standard set of industry codes that every business should know. You should know what your code is. And you can just Google NAICS code for retail consumer, for bath, you know, beauty and bath products, for furniture sales, for marketing consultant. And it should get you to the whole list of codes. Figure out what your NAICS code is, and then go to a website. Typically, I go to census.gov and I will search, or maybe NAICS.com, and I'll search for a specific code to see what information they provide. But you want to gather information about your industry, which it really ends up being your competitor. So how many firms are in your industry in the US, and then how many are in your industry in this region or where you compete. So breaking down that information is good. In this case, Penguin, if you look at, about halfway through that last paragraph on page 7, the commercial print NAICS 323 includes commercial lithographic printing, commercial gravure printing, flexographic printing, all kinds of printing. So we describe a big picture, and we can see that it's a $162 billion market. And that's what you want to know about your business, is what is the biggest size, like if it's US or even global. I would start with US because a lot of the information you can get fairly easily for different industry categories. Then on the next page, we start breaking that down. So out of, you'll see the 323, that is the larger industry for all printers. And Penguin was in the 323115. So some of these will go on out maybe 6, 7, 8 digits in terms of NAICS code, but we searched on census.gov and we found 2,459 firms that generated $5.7 billion in US sales in the year 2010 is when we did this research, employing 34,532 people. So this is roughly 7% of the commercial print category. So the 5.7 billion is 7% of that overall commercial print category, which is the subcategory that Penguin was in. The average sale size, now here is where we get in really just a math problem, so don't be bothered by this, but if you take 5.7 billion divided by 2,459 firms, you will get 2.3 million in average annual sales per firm. And then if you take the 34,532 employees and divide by 2,459 printing firms in this NAICS code, you get 14 people on average on staff for each printing firm. So this is the type of information that you should try to pull for your own company, like what industry you're in, the bigger industry category, and then your subcategory, how many firms, how many employees do they have, what are the overall sales, and then you can back into your industry average sales per business. And one of the reasons why this is important is it helps us forecast within reason. So if we know that in the industry, in the printing industry, the average company does 2.3 million in annual sales and they have about 14 people employed there, and Penguin is forecasting 500,000 in sales and they have 5 people working there, then that might be reasonable, in terms of startup for this type of company within an industry with an average size that's much larger. You should look, so now's a good time to do some research if you haven't already on the business in terms of, like, for example, we found this site for the printing industry called printing.org, and it has a ton of stats, ton of statistics on that site, and it's all about the printing industry. And so we found a lot of information, and what they say is that the printing industry will have a large economic footprint and continue to provide profitable opportunities for thousands of printing firms and their suppliers. So you want to find out if your industry is trending successfully long term. Is it a sustainable business, or is it a business where a lot of people are going out of business? You want to try to find that out first before you spend a lot of money organizing within a subcategory within a larger industry where maybe people are not successfully making money, making a go at that type of business. So I hope this helps you. If you have any questions about where to go looking for industry information, or if you want help on that, just shoot me an email and I will be glad to help you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll be in touch.